on the air.
Okay, get yourself standing nice and comfortably so you've got equal pressure on your toes as you have on your heels. Okay, and just very gently take that weight onto your toes now and then onto your heels and just start rocking forwards and backwards. Just try and get nice fluid movement going through the whole of your body. And as you start to do that, the arms will naturally just start to go with you, going onto your toes and your heels. And what we're going to do now is just exaggerate the movement a little bit more. So you're going to bring it, so your arms come forwards and your heels are just going to slightly raise off of the floor. Slightly coming up. There we go. And the higher your arms go, the more you're coming up onto your tiptoes now. And we're stretching up through into the tiptoes. Good. If you can, let's try and get the arms right up towards the ceiling. So we're really lengthening and stretching. Perfect. Really raise up. And the more you're coming up onto your tiptoes, the more of the stretch you're getting through the soles of your feet. But at the same time, you're imagining that each of those bones through your spine are stretching, lengthening, and separating, creating a bit of space and lengthening through the spine. Perfect. Good. Okay, let your arms relax by your side. Let's get your hands onto your shoulders now. We're going to start with one arm. We're going to circle the arm backwards. You're going to draw that circle with your elbow as big as you can. You're going to really draw as big a circle as you can. The bigger the circle you get, the more stretch you get through that pec area there. So stretching through the chest. Lovely. Okay, and onto the other side. Draw that circle round. And you're probably going to hear those crunches and cracks and clicks and stuff. That's absolutely fine. If it doesn't hurt, don't worry about it. Joints make these noises. There we go, circling that through. Perfect. Now we're going to try and get some movement going through the spine as well. So we're going to do this kind of kayak movement. So we're going to do one arm back, then the other arm back. So now, as well as getting that nice movement through the shoulders, we're rotating through the spine as well. So we're getting that opening and releasing through the spine. Lovely. Good. And really feel that stretching through your pectorals as well, so right through the front of your chest, get that lovely opening movement. Lift your head, think about stretching through your neck. You don't need to be doing it too fast, it's not a speed move. Okay, now let's just change it around and see if we can draw the other way. So we get some more rotation going through your spine. That's it, keep circling the arms around. Fantastic. Good. Rotating those shoulders through, perfect. And just gently let your arms relax, just circle those shoulders. Lovely. Okay, we're going to now just rotate a little bit more through the chest. You're going to bring your hands into this position here. And we're going to keep the hips facing forwards, but you're going to breathe out as you twist to the side, one side, and breathe in as you come back to the center. Breathe out, rotate to the side. Breathe in, come to the center. Hips stay facing forwards. Knees are nice and relaxed, and you've got equal pressure going through your toes as you have your heels. All that's happening is we're just creating a nice release through the spine as we mobilize through that center part there. Good. Watch your elbows don't start to drop down. Keep them nice and high so it focuses that movement through the upper part of your spine. Fantastic. One more to each side. Breathe out as you go to the side. Breathe in, come to the center. Last one, breathe out and breathe into the center. Perfect, let your arms relax down. Take your hands in front of you now. One hand goes behind the other and I want you to push your hands away from you. Really lengthen your arms as much as you can. At the same time, you're going to feel your shoulder blades separating and widening at the back of your chest there. And keep pushing your hands away to that wall as much as you can. And as you push away, you're going to raise your arms up towards the ceiling. So keep pushing, 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 lengthening through your arms as you're pushing towards the ceiling as much as possible, and relax your arms as they come down. Okay, take those hands away again. Keep pushing. The more you push with your hands, the more your shoulder blades are going to start separating and lengthening and stretching through your spine there. So keep pushing, push, 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 lengthen, lengthen. Imagine your spine is stretching at the same time as you're pushing up towards the ceiling, and let your hands relax down. Take your hands the other way around this time. So the other hand now comes behind and we're going to push again. So really push your hands away. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Push towards the ceiling. See if you can get a little bit taller this time. Stretch and let your arms come down. Last one, this time we're going to stay with the arms at the top. So again, hand goes behind, lengthen your arms away, separating through the shoulder blades, push, 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 really stretch and lengthen and reach towards the ceiling, keeping your arms in this position now. We're going to go off to one side, so you're imagining that you're trapped between two panes of glass and the stretch is coming all the way up through your side and through your arm, and we're lengthening off towards the side here. Let's work with the breathing. So as you breathe in, you hold your position and breathe out as you slide over a little bit more. Breathe in to hold, breathe out as it drops over a bit more. Breathe in to hold and breathe out as you drop further over. Gently come back up to the centre and off to the other side. So lengthen, really stretch there. Okay, good. Work with the breathing. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out as it sinks over a little bit more. Breathe in to hold. Breathe out as it lengthens. Breathe in and breathe out as it lengthens. Come back up to the centre. Okay, this time take your feet just a little bit wider apart now. We're going to go for a full body circle. So we're going to push the arms far away. We're going to come around towards the side. Twist your hips so you're drawing the biggest circle you possibly can with your arms around your body. Keep pushing away, pushing away. Don't let the arms go soft. Keep pushing. Perfect. And then off around the other way. Twist the hips as you go around. Really lengthen, lengthen. Push your hands away. Sweep them through. And lengthen all the way up to the top again. And let your arms just relax. Soften through your shoulders. Bring your feet back into the centre again now. And we're just going to walk through the soles of your feet. So we're really just trying to prance through the toes. We're really getting that big stretch through the sole of your feet as you're doing this. That's it, keep working through your feet. Lovely, couple more. Okay, now we're just staying with one foot bent up, and we're just going to work, just mobilise through the hip, knee and ankle. So draw some circles with your ankle and your knee. Your hip will move as well, getting that nice little bit of mobility all the way through the knees, hips, ankle. Okay, lovely, and opposite direction. Good. And then onto the other side. So again, just draw those circles, everything moves, just release through everything there. And then round in the other direction. Perfect. Okay, let's make our way down onto the mat. So standing at the back there, stand up nice and tall. So remember when we do this one, we imagine that we're lengthening through the spine. Your chin drops down towards your chest. And you're just opening each one of those bones in your spine. Watch your hips don't give way and start to stick your bottom out. Keep your bottom tucked under and open each one of those bones in your spine as you work your way down towards the floor. Keep softening. Hips will eventually start to move as your hands go down towards the floor. You might need to bend your knees to make contact, that's fine. Walk your hands forward, and we're going to end up in that down dog position. So we're walking through the heels now. And you're aiming to get your heels to make contact with the floor. So if your hamstrings and your calf muscles are quite tight, it's quite a challenge to get the heels to touch, and you'll feel that stretch quite soon. If you're really flexible through there, you might want to bring your feet a little bit closer and walk into it. Just go with what feels right for you at the moment. There we go, perfect. And then when you're ready, let your knees drop down towards the mat. Okay, so we're just going to work through the hips now and just create a little bit of movement. So what I want you to do is sit your bottom down onto your heels and then come back up again. So we're just starting to move through the spine and the hips. So each time you go down, your bottom is going to try and make its way towards your heels a little bit more each time. Okay, that's it. Sit yourself down onto your heels and then coming back up again. So watch your shoulders don't start sinking or hunching up towards your ears. Keep your neck nice and long. Lengthen everything. So it's as if you're lengthening your neck and lengthening your spine as you go down, and then coming back up. Lengthen your spine, lengthen your neck as you go down. Okay, this time, what we're going to do is as you come back up, lengthen through your spine, your bottom goes down. As you come back up, your hips are going to tuck under, and we're going to scoop up and separate through the shoulders, so you're in that cat pose at the end. So you're soften down through the spine, stick your bottom back and lengthen your spine to sit down onto your heels. On the way up, tuck under with your hips, rise up through the spine and push your shoulder blades towards the ceiling. Sink down through your shoulders, lengthen your spine, sit your bottom down onto your heels. Tuck your hips under to come back up and push your spine up towards the ceiling. Let's do 2 more. So as you sit down, push your bottom away from you, lengthen through the spine and get your bottom right down onto your heels if you can. On the way up, tuck under with your hips. Push up through your spine, up through your shoulders, feel the separation of your shoulder blades, and then just sit back, really push your bottom back down onto your heels and lengthen through your spine. Last one, tuck up with the hips, push up through your spine, and this time just soften down into that neutral position. So we are on all fours now. Okay, what we're going to do now is start to work a little bit more through the hips. So you're going to lengthen one leg away and draw it back in again, and onto the other side, lengthen the leg away and draw it back in. Now, if you come regularly to Pilates, this is not Pilates style, but obviously keep the principles. If you've never done Pilates, don't worry about it. It is just about lengthening through the hips and through the spine. So as you push your leg back, really push your foot towards the wall behind you and then draw it back in. So it needs to come right back to its start position, so your knee ends up back underneath your hips. Just one more on each side, lengthen and scoop it back in, lengthen the other leg and scoop it back in. Now, here's where we're going to start to create a little bit more of a stretch. So we're going to take one leg back, lengthen it back. Opposite arm is going to reach towards the opposite wall. So push your toes towards the wall behind you, push your fingers towards the wall in front of you. If you're feeling strong, lift the leg at the same time so you can get even more connection and strength. So it is a power stretch. We're going to recruit muscles in order to create lengthening at the same time. So push your hand away from you, push your leg away from you. Imagine you're being pulled by both directions, and then just gently bring it back in again. We're going to go for the opposite side. So leg stretches away, arm reaches towards the wall in front of you. Really lengthen away. If you can, lift the leg up and pull. Pull your leg towards the wall behind you, push your hand towards the wall in front of you, really stretch and lengthen. Imagine your neck's lengthening, your spine's lengthening, your hips down through your leg, everything is lengthening. And gently come back into the centre again. Okay, same again now, but this time we're going to create a little bit more movement. So, first arm goes out, first leg goes out, and we're reaching, lengthen the leg away, lengthen the arms away. Now, elbow comes in towards your abdomen and your knee comes in towards your abdomen as well. So knee and elbow in towards your belly, but at the same time scoop up so we've got that cat pose, or that cat stretch in the middle. Lengthen everything away. Scoop it in, really arch up through the spine and lengthen. Scoop it up and lengthen it away. 2 more. Scoop it up. Lengthen it away, really stretch. Last one, let's really arch through the spine and then really lengthen away. Lovely, swap sides. Okay, stretch one arm out, stretch the leg out. Here we go. Knee and elbow come in towards the centre, arch through the spine, lengthen away. Scoop it up and lengthen it away. Scoop it up and lengthen. Really stretch, 2 more. Scoop it up, stretch it away. Last one, really arch through the spine and lengthen away. Fantastic. Come off of your wrists, sit down onto your heels and stretch your hands away. Good, just walk your fingers forward so you're getting a lovely stretch through your spine. Keep your hands as far away as you can and walk them off towards one side. So you're going to bring them round towards the side. Watch your bottom doesn't come up. Try and keep your hips and your bottom down onto your heels if you can. And just hold that stretch. That's it, lovely. And then walk your hands around towards the other side. Okay, walk them around. Again, try and keep your head down, bottom down. Stretch the hands away as much as you can. Perfect. And come back into centre. Right, so this one, we're going to work and stretch through your glute muscles. So if you can, tuck that leg in front of you, and then the back leg lengthens away, so you come down into the stretch in this position. Okay, from the front, What's happened is we've tucked that leg right across the body and lengthened the back leg away and come down into this position here. Okay, now if you really can't, some people's hips really don't like that position, you can do it by keeping the knee straight and coming into this stretch, or if you're really not comfortable with this one, just wait this stretch out and we'll pick up in a second. Okay, so if you are coming right down into this stretch, tuck your foot across your body as much as you can. If you're getting you should be getting the stretch into your glutes here. If you're not quite feeling it, just lean into it a little bit more and see if you can just push your weight into your glutes and you'll find the stretch point. You'll know when you're there. That's it, and then just hold that position. And just keep breathing and sinking into that stretch as much as you can and just enjoy the release through the glutes there. Perfect. Okay. When you're ready, just very gently untuck yourself. So I'm going to scoot that leg back out and bring the other leg across. Stretch that leg out and sink yourself down. Fantastic. Okay. And again, if you need to, lean into it so you get that stretch. That's perfect. Here we go. Feel the stretch there. Just lean into it if you need to and just enjoy that stretch. Perfect, good. Okay, and when you're ready, just gently come out of that stretch. Okay, we're going to go onto your side now. So if you've got some pillows, grab your pillows, because we're going to pop your head on there. If you don't have pillows, it doesn't matter. I'll just pause your video, grab some pillows. And then we're going to get you lying onto your side. So you're coming into this position here. Stack your hips on top of each other, stack your shoulders on top of each other, and put both your hands out in front of you like this. Okay, what we're going to do is with this top arm, you're going to slide it forward so you're reaching as far forwards as you can. You're going to imagine that you're lying on your mat in the beach, and you're going to draw a circle in the sand around you. So stretch your arm around your body as much as you can. As you take it round past your head, you need to rotate through your spine so that you allow your hand to still keep making contact with the floor. Don't worry if it doesn't, don't force it. Not everybody's shoulder will make it all the way around in contact with the floor, and that's fine. Just do what works for you, okay? Come back round, and again, lengthen the arm away. See if you can draw a bigger circle the next time. So we're really stretching around, really reaching. And allow your shoulder to rotate back now. Allow the spine to open. Once you get into this sort of crucifix position, you'll really feel the chest opening. Lovely stretch through there as you circle round. Scoop your arm back across the top of your body. Here we go, 2 more. Lengthen the arm away. Go even bigger this time. Really stretch, lengthen all the way through the spine. Feel that stretch come across the chest as you open up through your spine there. And we're just circling round to the last one. Let's go even bigger now. Stretch, really feel that releasing, all that movement happening through your shoulder, through your spine. How lovely. Coming round, and we just finished just there. Okay, pop the pillows out the way. We're going to go onto your back before we go onto the other side. So spin yourself over onto your back. Let's just grab hold of both knees and just draw some circles round one way. Both knees in the same direction. Let's just draw those circles. So we're releasing through that low back there. And then the opposite direction. Make sure we go both ways. Really circle them around. There we go. Okay, keep hold of one knee. Okay, with the other leg, lengthen it away. Okay, the knee that you've got hold of, really tuck it in towards your chest so you've got really good firm contact of that there. And the leg that's out straight, really push it away to the wall in front of you there. Push to your toes, so keep pointing your toes and lengthening through the leg there. So it's opening up through the hip flexors on the front of your pelvis there. Really push away. Okay, keep pushing. A few more seconds. And then you're going to change it around, so you're going to now bring your toes, so the leg that's out straight, bring your toes up towards your head. So you're now pushing your heel away towards the wall in front of you. That's it, good. So we're just getting that stretch through the back of the leg now. Just hold that. A few more seconds again. And then very gently now just bring that knee up so that it's resting in sort of a neutral position. So your foot's just resting in that slight knee bend. With the knee you're holding, now hold round the back of the thigh, so the back of your knee. And from here, we're going to go from bent knee to straight leg if you can. Okay, so I'm going to work it through the hamstring muscles, just bending and stretching. Bend through the knee, lengthen through the leg. Bend through the knee, lengthen through the leg there. That's it. Now, you may have really long hamstrings and you can get your leg way over towards your head. That's fantastic. Just work with what's good for you. My hamstrings, as we've noticed throughout the weeks, are exceptionally tight. Work in progress, I call them. Just keep working with what works for you. You probably notice you get a little bit of a shake on at the end of the stretch there, but just don't force it so that it becomes painful. Just work within a good range of movement for you. Let's just do the last one there and just relax through the knee. We're going to swap round, so pop that leg down, grab hold of the other knee, tuck it in towards your chest and really anchor that knee in, and then the other leg is going to stretch out towards the wall in front of you. So push your toes towards the wall, keep stretching through your toes, lengthen your leg towards that wall, keep pushing. Nice and tight with the knee that you've got hold of, so that we get that opening up through the front of the pelvis. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring so the leg that's straight, bring your toes up towards your head, push your heels away from you, or your heel away from you, and then you get that release through the back of the leg. And really lengthen through there, just hold it a few more seconds. Perfect, okay, and then slide that leg, so your straight leg comes up to bent with your foot resting on the mat, and the knee you've got hold of, now just hold around the back of the knee. And again, we're going to work with bending and stretching through the leg. So keep hold of the back of the thigh and straighten the leg and bend it. And then straighten it. Feel that stretch through the back of your calf, your thigh. You feel all of the lengthening going through there. Just work with what works for you. Probably notice quite a difference between one side and the other as well. And again, that's perfectly normal. Just shows which bits we need to work on. Good, couple more, keep bending and stretching. There we go. Last one. And just take the leg out straight, that last one there. Perfect. And then release that. Knee, take yourself into a full body stretch. So stretch your legs away from you, stretch your arms away from you, and really lengthen through that spine there. Good. Okay, we're going to spin over onto the other side. So you can roll onto the other side. I'm going to spin around and face the other way. Grab your pillows. Okay. Tucking onto your side here. Arms go out straight in front of you, palm to palm. Start with your hips stacked on top of each other. Start with your shoulders stacked on top of each other. And when you're ready, lengthen the top arm. Imagine you are trailing your fingers through the sand and circling your arm around. Allow your spine to open, so allow it to twist and see if you can keep your fingers close to the sand if you can, and scoop it around the body. Okay, each time you go round, we're going to try and create a bigger circle, really lengthen and allow the spine to rotate round as we come around here. Scoop across the body. Lengthen the top arm, really stretch. Circle it round, allow your spine to open, feel that stretch through your pecs. And circle it around, it's definitely getting easier the more you do it. Last one, biggest circle you can, lengthen it round, allow your head just to roll around as your spine and your shoulders open, and circle that back to start position. Perfect. Okay, get yourself up and we'll just take you to sitting. We're going to release through the inner thigh muscles now. So pop the soles of your feet together and just allow your knees to drop out. So you may find that your adductor muscles are quite tight. You might be sitting like this. Don't be tempted to push your knees down. Just allow them to soften out to the point that they're comfortable. Then you can let your hands rest on there, but we're not pushing, it's just the natural weight of your arms. If you're still not feeling the stretch through the adductor muscles here, so your inner thigh muscles, what we do is we just lean forwards into the stretch a little bit more. And we're going to work with the breathing again. So breathe in as you hold your position, and breathe out just as you let your spine soften and lengthen and sink down into that stretch a little bit more. Hold it as you breathe in, and breathe out. See if you can soften and lengthen again. 2 more. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out, soften, lengthen, and draw yourself into that stretch. Breathe in to hold. and breathe out as you soften, lengthen and sink down. Perfect. And just gently, don't go too quickly, just gently come out of that stretch. Perfect. And then we're going to get you to pop your legs out straight. Get yourself sitting right onto your sitting bones, and we're sitting up nice and tall through the spine. Okay, we're going to go into a little sitting roll down. So for this one, lengthen through the neck, let your chin drop down towards your chest. Imagine you've been karate chopped through the middle, so we're allowing the spine to sink and sort of create a little C curve. So let yourself sink down into this and then walk your hands forward. Hold that position there. See how far your fingers can go, and just hold that position as you breathe in. Same with the breathing. As you breathe out, just allow your spine to relax, allow your back muscles to release, allow your leg muscles to soften, and just imagine your chest is getting closer to the floor. Keep those fingertips further forwards. Breathe in, hold your position, and as you breathe out, just let everything soften and release, and you get a little bit more of a stretch. Breathe in to hold, breathe out, soften. You might just get a little bit further this time. Last one, breathe in to hold, and breathe out as you soften and lengthen. Last little bit. On the next in-breath, gently walk your hands back up so that you're coming up to sitting. Okay, take yourself over onto your knees now. If your knees are quite sore and you're not too happy with the kneeling bits, then pop your pillows underneath your knees, and that way it's a lot more comfortable in this position. Okay. So what we're going to do is just think about switching on through your glutes so that we're not in this sort of hunchback position. You're switching on through your glutes, so you're pushing your hips and your pelvis forward, and doing this, we're opening up through the hip flexors through here. Keep everything else in line, so ears, shoulders, hips and knees, everything's drawing that nice straight line, and you're squeezing through your glutes to open through there. Then just allow the glutes to release. Let's do it again. So activate your glutes, so squeeze your bottom, push your hips forward, open up through that hip flexor at the front there, and then gently release. Okay, last one, squeeze through the glutes, so you're tucking your hips under, push your hips forwards, opening up through the front of your pelvis there. Nice. And then just release. Now we're going to take the stretch a little bit more. So if you remember this one, we go into 90 degrees with our hips and knees here. So again, switch on through the glutes, so tuck under, you're rotating your pelvis, so you're scooping under with your pelvis, and you're feeling the stretch through the front of your thigh on that knee you're kneeling on. Keep everything else nice and upright, don't be tempted to tilt into it, so keep upright, nice and tall into this position here. And then from here, now bring your arms up towards the ceiling if you can, and think about lengthening through the spine, lengthening through your neck and reaching, so we're stretching all of that connective tissue to create a lovely long stretch and release through there. Good, couple of breaths in this position. Last one. And then slowly let your arms just relax down towards your side. Let's swap the knees around. So we're going into 90 degrees on this side. Okay, again, switch on through your glutes. So tuck under with your hips. Get that stretching happening through the front of your thigh there. So you'll get a nice stretch through your quads and an opening through the front of your pelvis there. Keep your glutes activated, and we'll take your arms up towards the ceiling again. So lengthen and stretch. Keep your glutes squeezing. There we go. A couple of breaths here. Breathe in and breathe out. So you can just stretch a little bit further as you breathe out. Breathe out and lengthen. And then when you're ready, just let your arms relax down. Perfect. Okay. Pop those pillows out of the way for now. Hands go down onto the mat. Tuck your toes under. Let's stick you back up into this down dog position and walk through the heels. See if you get a little bit more movement through there than we did when we started. A little bit more of a stretch through the back of the legs. Perfect. And then you walk your feet in towards your hands back towards your feet, and you're ending up at the bottom of this roll down position. Lengthen through the legs, tuck under with your hips, and think about opening each one of those bones in your spine as you're restacking them one on top of the other. Shoulders are staying way away from your ears as you're opening up nice and tall. Perfect. So you're coming now back to standing position. You're just going to circle those shoulders as we've got back to that standing position. Perfect. Let's take a nice deep breath in and bring your arms up. And breathe out as your arms come down. Good. Breathe in as your arms come up. And breathe out as your arms come down. Breathe in. And breathe out. Let's go on to tiptoes. Breathe in. Come up. Breathe out. Come down. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out as you come down. Good. Breathe in to come up. And breathe out. We're going into 3 full body swings now. So reach, bend your knees, sweep the arms through and throw your arms, throw your arms up, hold the balance. When you're ready, let your arms go, sweep through, stretch, hold the balance. Last one, biggest sweep you can do, really throw the arms through, reach, hold it, let your heels come down, let your arms come down. Well done everybody, hopefully you feel much more stretched than you did half hour ago, and I'll see you on the next one.